What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, YWC Reality Chick. This is your NXT Halloween Havoc 2025 preview. And that's Jake fucking DeMARCO. What are we doing, buddy?
Woo! Holy hell. We are all excited here, Milo included, because Halloween Havoc, it's spooky time, our favorite time of the year. I love the fall season. I am an LA girl at heart because I love my pumpkin spice and, you know, apple everything.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
so, before we do this, I'm going to do something I should do more often for my good co-host here. I know we plug them at the end and all that sort of thing. Pause. Tell them what's going on over at Countdown Ended, and for anybody that doesn't know.
Well, tonight we'll have Into Somewhere Weekly. That'll be basically to lead into this. So they'll be hearing us go ahead and chat about Halloween Havoc here, but we'll be talking about news and booking with NXT, as well as developments with AEW and some contract issues. We got the latest news and rumors tonight, and then we'll be live with the Halloween Havoc review this weekend. After the show ends, come hang out with us and watch the review. It's going to be a great time. YouTube.com/Jake
Hopefully I will be there.
DeMARCO. Yes, indeed. We hope to have you. So
hopefully I will be there. I cannot guarantee just yet, but I can say that I hope to be there.
We're squaring away your presence.
I'm just saying, for anybody that doesn't know, and we are going to try and get this up for live preview. So for those of you out there that have come over mostly from either Jake's channel or the Wrestling for Life Network, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hopping in the conversation. I'm talking about guys like MDB. I'm talking about guys like XX Mega. I'm talking about our good friend Liz popping up in the chat sometime or other. We are watching, we are listening, we are checking out the chat as the replay goes live. So I'm glad that at least some of you are coming to enjoy it. So thank you to all of you, and thank you to Wrestling for Life, who allow me to plug my stuff over there excessively and pause.
Absolutely. Always, you know, sharing those guys, retweeting them, and hopefully you guys are checking them out for all of your
all your watch along content.
Yeah, all your watch along needs.
So Halloween Havoc. Can I say something right off the bat?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
This is the cocaine bear of wrestling pay-per-views, because it's going to be so fun. I don't care if it's good.
It can't not be good. The way the matches are booked. Good. But what I'm saying is, like, at the very least, unless they really give us some ass backwards booking, it's gonna be fun, and it's going to be like messy in a way. Yeah, but in a fun way.
Messy in a good way.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Stuff that's ridiculous in a way that it's allowed to be ridiculous, and you can sweep it into that it's supposed to be. I texted you today while I was at work, after watching NXT last night, peek behind the curtain, because why the hell not? I think I just said to you, like, have you watched it yet? Yes or no? And okay, when you watch it, you're going to see they're making a pay-per-view just for me.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. There's no wheel, which is kind of unfortunate.
No Shotzi, no wheel, no making a deal. I wish they always kept that with it, but maybe
I will say, because there's no wheel, the stipulations we have in play are specific to the people involved in those stipulations. So it's, even though it's a step away from the fun, it's a step towards the logical. So yeah. I'll take that trade-off. 6 matches instead of 5. And I'm going to do something funny here, because I'm going to start with the one match that's probably the most important match, probably going to be a really good match. I would say by tone, it's the match that doesn't feel like it belongs on this silly, fun, spooky card. Okay. And that's the main event. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams.
Yeah, this is the one that's kind of the most serious of all grudge matches, of all feuds. Ricky and Trick have been butting heads for a long time now, even when Ricky didn't have the title and Trick did. He had the NXT title, he looked down on Ricky. Then, when he had the TNA title, he did pretty much the same, the co-captain back and forth nonsense. That was a ton of fun. Yep. And now we've got this great title match. And every time I feel like, oh, Trick's going to be gone from here, long gone, rear view mirror Trick Williams, he gets involved in something else and stays, even further with his longevity, proving that he has lasting power and a namesake, because the crowd, even as a heel, still chant, whoop that Trick and love to see him. They love
I'm
to
gonna go
boo
the
him
opposite.
as well. So I
I'm
think
gonna go.
this is going to be a really good one. But like you said, it's the only outlier.
It's the outlier as far as tone, and it's not because it's not exciting. It's because it's exciting in a serious wrestling pay-per-view. Where are we going moving forward type of thing, not a Spaz wants to be really immature and watch some funky Halloween stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
where's the
go
haunted house match for this one, right? You know,
exactly,
they
exactly.
should be kind of like not nailed into the theme, but like it's Halloween. If you're gonna go for it, even if you made it like a trick or street fight kind of thing, whatever. But that's basically what they're doing with the Hardys. I don't know.
I think they have kind of a cool opportunity because it's probably going to be the main event. If it's not, then I've got some questions. But you do have an opportunity to do like sort of a tone shift. Okay, we've had all of our fun. We've had all these really wicked, creative. Hey, here's somebody from somewhere. Here's somebody from somewhere. We've had all of our fun. We've done all of our spooky Halloween stuff. We've done everything to cater to the theme of the show. And not to quote Justin Roberts, but here's where the shit gets real. And
Yeah.
I think they can play with that a little bit. I don't think they'll hit it over the head like that.
No,
My
but
take
like you
on
said,
it,
it could be a nice takeaway from, you know, everything else. Like everything tonight has been fun until we get to the main event because it is so serious that it almost doesn't match the tone, but this is what we want. But yeah, that could be a lot of fun and easily executable, no doubt. Because that's just like it's an easy setup. I don't mean it in a disparaging way. I mean it in a good way. Like you can't mess that up. You know, people want to see you two battle and just say, oh, it's so serious that it couldn't have a spooky theme. We had to make it legit.
yeah. And I
Perfect.
mean, both character like Ricky Saints. We're going to talk about the promo last night in a second, but Ricky Saints is in a thing where he's just establishing himself, and Trick Williams is the kind of guy that you would look at a Halloween party and think he's kind of like turned his nose up. He's kind of above it all type thing. So even in that way, it kind of makes sense. For me, as far as the Trick Williams stuff that you just mentioned, I'm kind of looking at it as the opposite way. I'm kind of looking at it as a bit of a foregone conclusion thing. This is a predictable match in the best way.
Yes.
Ricky Saints is gonna take out Trick.
Yeah.
I think
Taking one of my
as
lines there with the foregone conclusion, but this one feels
yeah,
like the ultimate foregone conclusion on this show. Like if you had to call
oh
like
yeah.
which match is, this is the penultimate. Because there's other matches I could argue could go another way no matter what. Even if it doesn't seem logical, there's still a chance with how they book things that it could happen. So this
Yeah, but I
truly
think that
feels like a dead giveaway.
the promo that we got this past Tuesday, literally yesterday, was the I will say, as much as I'm enjoying Trick Williams as a character, it's the first time I've seen the Trick Williams that stood in the middle of a TNA ring step into an NXT ring, if that makes sense. Because Trick
Yeah.
Williams is one of those guys that went to TNA and like just blew up his character in a good way. I don't think there's anything he has left to do in NXT, but to say like as a heel, he's the guy that says, "Oh, I carry two brands on my back," and whatever the case may be. Well, he's kind of gonna. The last two things he's gonna do before he gets called up is put over the new TNA champion in Mike Santana.
Yeah.
Fantastic match, fantastic
Getting
moment,
him the
and
belt.
then
Yeah, great moment.
going to turn around and solidify Ricky Saints. And also for Ricky Saints' title run, it'll mean that the two biggest names in the brand before he got there, Obafemi and Trick Williams, will have both put him over as the new establishing champion in that regard. But I do think it's kind of funny. Trick Williams went to TNA, got bigger. Ricky Saints came to NXT from that other place, got bigger, and they both turned it up to 11 in the promo last night. I love people are saying it's a controversial thing. People are saying that it's not for everybody. The way Ricky Saints flips the switch in his promos, where he's laid back and he's like, you know, I'm smoother than you, I'm silkier than you, I'm better than you, I'm cooler than you, whatever. And then the minute his hand comes down on the table and he's belting in Trick's face about like,
Yes.
you know, grinding on the indies. You don't fucking know about the indies. I'm
Yeah.
here, you're gone. We already know your foot's 1 foot out the door. The way he does his promos, where it's people are gonna shoot me for this. It's a little bit of a what's his name? Jake the Snake
Yes.
element,
All
where
right.
it's really quiet, really relaxed, really smooth, really almost drawing you in to then burst.
Yes.
And
To
because he
build
does it,
and
it
build
works.
and build. Yeah.
Now, do I think he's going to get better as he goes? Is there like tons of room for not improvement, but to excel
Yeah.
in that regard? but I like the way that he does it because there's nobody currently on. I mean, there's people in the past, obviously, that have done a similar type thing, but it's such a switch and it sort of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen a whole bunch of his promos,
Really into somewhere.
In that, we're gonna get a cease and desist. You better stop that. But yeah, doesn't feel like it belongs on this card. I don't say this is a bad thing. It's super predictable in the best way possible. Ricky Saints gets solidified as the guy for NXT going forward. Trick goes somewhere. I don't know what they're doing with Oba. Apparently, Oba has been facing Omos at house shows.
Yes, he faced quite a few big men so far. So Rusev,
I kind of want to look at that
Omos,
shit.
and now we're supposed to get him and Sheamus at some point too, I guess, on the house show circuit.
Really?
So that's interesting as well. Yeah.
Really?
Really?
And you know what? I know, and we're not going to divert too much, and I know the Brock Lesnar thing is a hot button issue, but Jesus, man, that would be a fun match.
No doubt about it. I mean,
that would be a
people
fun match.
wanted
Everybody
to
would
see it with what was
everybody
it, the
would shit
Rumble?
on it, but yeah. Well, do you remember when and I'm not saying people are interchangeable and oh, you're like this, so you must be like this, but the Rumble where Brock was already in the ring, and I think it was Keith Lee got in the ring, and he just stopped mid-stride. Oh fuck, big boy.
Yeah, he's like, that's a big boy. He's like,
and that's Keith Lee, who's a big dude, but not a tall dude. Imagine Obafemi getting in that ring and looking him in the face. That's going to be a moment at some point. If people can stop shitting on somebody that might have known about what somebody else might have done.
Exactly. What was really funny with that too was that, like, you could tell Brock had no idea who this person was up until he came out of the curtain. So it just made for like such a crazy moment.
But how much more genuine does that make his reaction?
Like, that's what made it. It was a legitimate reaction. So not only does Brock not watch the product that he's a part of, you know that obviously, but we go ahead and we turn around and we get this amazing reaction because it is legitimate. He probably had never seen him come out, or had no idea he worked there. People were like, oh, Keith Lee's like who?
Well, it's like in the Battle Royal they had.
Gary Von Erich?
Battle Royal, in the Battle Royal they had on Monday Night Raw when Otis and Ivar came together and everybody else kind of just went to their corners. Because Otis is a comedy character. Ivar's one half of a tag team, but when those two guys come together, it's always fun. Before Bronson Reed went the direction he's going now, remember when they were just having those big guy matches on Raw for shits and gigs?
Yeah.
Another good YouTube channel you guys should all check out, by the way.
Shits and gigs.
Yeah, no, just do it, man. Just do fun shit. Like, don't pay attention to people that are out there telling you not to enjoy fun shit. I'm going to watch my first ever Super Bowl halftime show. Just putting that one out there. And after this weekend, not for any particular reason, but after the last, I would say 48 hours to 92 hours or so, I'm thinking right now would be a really, really good time to do a King of the Ring. Moving swiftly on to a slightly sad story.
Swiftly, huh? I see what you're doing there.
Oh my God. People are mad at her now too.
Yeah.
I'm not going there. We're not doing it. Got no bum, but it's okay.
You can't even read her lyrics on YouTube without getting a strike now. And that happened to big channels. I'm not even joking.
I can't get up in the morning without taking a strike or two. Pause. Okay, so we got to talk about the ladies' North American Championship situation.
Yeah.
And as useless as this is, I want to talk about the match that we were gonna get before I talk about the match that we're getting, because before the injury to Sol Ruka, the whole Blake Monroe Sol Ruka thing, I don't think people realize, and I'm not saying this in a way to talk down to anybody, I don't think people realize how many levels that match works on.
Yeah,
because they put the North American title on Sol Ruka to show faith in Sol Ruka. They were going to put the belt on Blake Monroe because it would help the title, and because Blake Monroe winning the mid-card title would clear up the main event title picture, because we know eventually that's going to be Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
So it unclogged the main event picture to put the mid-card title on a main event caliber person like Blake Monroe, who's going to do some good for the belt after the belt, did some good for Sol Ruka, who's over as fuck.
So they're both super over with good reason. And It's just a matter of like who gets to see
All those
who when and
all those pictures that went around of Zarya without
makeup.
wrestling gear on.
Yeah. That or
Smash.
war paint.
Anyway, but so now what we have is what we had a couple weeks ago, because remember they did the whole if you want to get your shot at Sol Ruka, you got to go through me first. And you had the Blake Monroe Zarya match.
Yes.
And we're gonna get a replay of that, but now Zarya is defending the North American Championship in her honor. So we
And
can't say that the title's vacant. It's being carried almost surrogate.
I remember Blake
style.
won, but what was the outcome? Like how did she end up winning? I don't recall. I know there was some
It was
nefarious
miscommunication between Zarya and
and
Sol
Soul.
Ruka,
That's right. Okay.
because they were just on the cusp of teasing something with Sol Ruka and Zarya, maybe
Having this,
Zarya eventually
yeah.
going for her title, and we can get there with Zarya sort of pretending that the title is hers now. Why is
And here I had that great like moment in my head of like, oh look, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte are helping bring Sol Ruka to the back. That's so kind of them. They're doing it out of like the genuine niceness of their heart, you know. Oh, that's
and you want to
it
hope it's
shows
a
good
work and it's not.
sportsmanship. And now you hear she's legit injured, and I'm like, oh, that really sweet moment is still sweet, but for totally different reasons now. It's
Well,
like,
probably even more appreciated.
yeah, oh,
If you think
absolutely.
about
But
it,
I'm saying
like if she just
it was
twisted
less
it or something like that, and she's
storyline.
being helped along and with like sportsmanship or whatever. But no, if it's that bad, then she probably couldn't get to the
No,
back. I don't want to
she was
speculate on
hobbling.
other people's stuff,
Yeah,
obviously.
she was hurting. So having that basically be the case was not great, and I'm like, oh, they had this amazing moment that now gets kind of sidelined by injury, and it's still a nice moment, no doubt. But like I said, seeing what it was there for was more, hey,
Yeah,
let me help you, my friend, instead of like, hey, we
yeah.
did a battle, and
Still pretty cool to see though.
yeah, still epic, no
Still pretty cool
doubt,
to see.
but. I feel bad for Soul because it always happens at the there's never an opportune time, but she was really
No.
like on this she was going to lose the belt soon, but she's had many defenses that were great, and they were trying to build towards something at least with the girls here. It was on its way,
And there's
so
gonna be a second conversation at some point as well about the other title that she carries, because they just established the speed title as
yes,
something that's on NXT. I'm sure they'll tackle that at a later date. It's a I hate to say it like this, but it's a lesser concern than the North
yeah.
American
Well,
Championship, and they're
it was
doing the
kind of
guys
funny
right
the way
now.
they did it too, because they were like, oh, and the speed title you're going to let go of, and she's like, you don't have to
And
do
she's like,
that.
"Oh, let's do one at a time," type of
Yeah,
thing.
and it
But
was like, no, we're getting rid of it.
but
Let's go.
here's the funny thing though, right? And you tell me if you think I'm crazy. I was swearing up and down when we had the initial match lined up. It's like, okay, yeah, of course, Blake Monroe is going to grab the mid card title, and Sol Ruka can get into the main event title mix. Zarya can do some jealousy stuff, and
Yeah,
they can fight each other on the way to a main card title thing. Now that
I
it's
honestly
Zarya,
didn't predict Blake getting it. I thought Sol Ruka was going to be dethroned by Zarya in the end. Like that was kind of my long term guess of this. I figured that she would have lost the
interesting.
belt to her because of how they were like. And she couldn't stop anybody, but it ends up being her own partner that was finally the one to stop her, and the last
And see,
expected foe. And
I looked at it the other way around. Like, give the belt to Blake Monroe, get her to put literally a new coat of paint on it, type of
yeah,
thing. And you don't need a belt between Zarya and Sol Ruka, because you can have the breakup of the tag
oh,
team be the
certainly,
story. And then, because not only that, like Blake Monroe wins the title, and Zarya looks at it, it's like, well, she's already won the title now. Like, here's my friend that gave a shot to everybody except me.
yeah. See, I just felt like
It
the
can almost be a
title.
Cody. It can almost be a Cody Randy situation in
Yes,
waiting.
yeah,
But I mean, if they're fighting each other, like, okay, I can't get the title off you, but I can still like beat the shit out of you for never giving me a title shot.
exactly. And it wasn't
They can
needed.
work themselves into a feud that's main event number one contender worthy.
I agree.
And I
The
mean,
title's not
I
needed,
think
but
Sol Ruka
it would add to
comes
it.
out on the top of that, because
Yeah.
whether it's JC Jane, whether it's Tatum Paxley, which we'll get to, whether it's Jordan Grace, Sol Ruka versus any of them for the main title is a match that I would buy a pay-per-view for.
Exactly. A lot of people are, and with good
I'm
reason.
gonna go the fun route. I'm gonna say that with Sol on the shelf, the new story between her and Sol becomes Zarya holding her belt for her, and whatever feelings that's gonna measure up. And I think Blake Monroe can clearly do some other things and piss off some other people for a bit. I don't think she's spoiling for choice as far as contenders go, because she hasn't had a whole lot of. She's had some stories, but she hasn't had a whole lot of matches since coming to NXT just yet. Like, I want to see her mix up with some of the mid card. I don't know why. Blake Monroe versus Fallon Henley is a match I want to see, because the two of them just like trying to like, well, first of all, they're both great wrestlers, but second of all, like the bitchy characters that they both play, not only Fallon Henley being this like bitchy heel anyway, but she's always got something to prove because she's in the bitchy heel stable and she's not even at the head of it, which is going to be another thing to consider later on down the line as well. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And while we're talking about,
I'm leaning the other way. I'm thinking that Blake Monroe gets it. She takes it, and it's because I feel still like I like you said, they don't need a belt to do it, but it does also add to the story of everything. I think the belt would have been
one
nice
of them holding the other one's
take,
belt.
but
If you see that segment, and I went back and I watched it again because I missed it the first time, because Blake tried to attack them in that little conversation they were having with Ava and everybody. And when Blake tried to attack them, it was Zarya that took her out. And when she posed over her at the end of the segment, she kind of snatched the belt out of Sol Ruka's hand to sort of pose with the belt after they announced the match. Like, okay, yeah, you're representing me on Saturday. Did you have to rip it out of my hands right now, right in the middle of this talking segment?
Yeah.
There's a story to be had there with Zarya carrying Sol's belt and her not being able to do anything about it. I think the obviously who holds the title has been altered, but I think the story is going to develop a slightly new bend and it's going to be a little less direct, which is fine.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. Your idea certainly does work. I do see, merit in that happening, but it's just a matter of how they get there.
So we'll see what happens. Keep it with the ladies. Why not? Because we do have more than one ladies match on the card. Not pointing out anybody else specifically, of course.
Without
JC
forcing
Jane,
it either.
Oh my goodness. No fish tanks. No, we're not doing it. There's no mud on our Halloween show. Tatum Paxley being the number one contender for the Women's World Championship at Halloween Havoc. I'm going to say this, and there's probably not a chance in hell. I hope she wins.
Yeah. I would like to see her win. It would be a lot of fun.
Not just because she's the hot goth chick, not just because it's Halloween, not just because I think she's really fantastic. But she deserves it. She's great. She's been great in everything they do. I hate that they keep going back to the whole, oh, this is my story, and then all my friends left me. Don't do that, because that's WWE firing a bunch of people. Don't keep weaving that into the story because it comes off really crass.
Yes.
That's my criticism of NXT. And they did it twice because she did that and talked about her friends leaving her. And then they went over to Fatal Influence and said, oh, didn't you just dump one of your friends recently? And it's like, no, that was a firing too. I know you're trying to be clever and tongue in cheek and whatever, but you're not winning any arguments with the naysayers when you do shit like that. And plus, you're talking about some other cool people in Jasmine Nix and Shotzi and Gigi Dolan, who was the Destiny Women's Champion for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Giselle Shaw.
Thank you kindly.
But other than that, like, JC Jane's awesome. Tatum Paxley's awesome. I kind of wish that Tatum's whole thing with the culling wasn't a thing for the purposes of this match, because her going in there as like, the weirdo outcast babyface against the mean girl would be enough without the, oh, are these really my friends? Are they not my friends type of thing? Like, at least if they could put that on the back burner for one night. But there is a solution to that. And I saw it on NXT this week with how good Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame are as a tag team.
Yes.
Because right now the culling are a bunch of dickheads, and they've recruited Tatum because she's, wide-eyed and rainbows and sunshines in her heart and all that kind of shit, and she doesn't know any better, blah, 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 right?
Yes.
How's this for an interesting comparison? Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley, William Regal and Eugene.
Yeah, I can see where you're getting at.
And
Absolutely.
what happened with that? Eventually, like they stuck Eugene with William Regal. William Regal hated it. Oh my God, you can't you suck sticking me with this loser and whatever the case may be. And eventually, over time, Regal turned face. Regal ended up defending Eugene against the Authority, or was it the McMahons? One or the other.
One of them.
And they went off as sort of an odd couple babyface tag team. Could we see the point where Tatum Paxley loses and Sean Spears and what is it, Nico Vance are like giving her all kinds of shit, and Izzy's the one that sticks up for her to Sean and Nico, and they go off and be a tag team?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I
So it
wouldn't
could be
mind
good.
that. Because Izzy Dame is fantastic as well. She's playing this sort of middle character, like I'm manipulating her, and plus I'm kind of manipulating the guys because I'm the real leader of this heel group. But you get her in a match, and she's got a babyface fire up in her that's fantastic. She's got a hot tag on her that's fantastic. Her and Tatum, if they want to keep hitting this thing over the head of like all of Tatum's friends leave her, even though it's not great, you could have Izzy Dame be the one that sticks around, and maybe on the main roster, there's a babyface faction of Izzy and Tatum and Lyra.
Could be. I mean,
I would really like it.
yeah, that's not
And
a
and
bad.
and I mean, it doesn't hurt that they're all hot.
Certainly not either.
They
You
could
know,
be the real big. They could be the real big three,
they could, and that's kind of the thing.
and they don't have broken faces and broken fingers and broken. Jimmy Uso took a bullet for the team there.
Right?
Anyways, moving swiftly on. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm picking Tatum Paxley anyway.
I almost wish it would, because the story with JC, I feel like ends with obviously the disillusion of the whole, Fatal Influence gang. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would love for them to do what she doesn't need the title to have the group fizzle out and move on. And her and Fallon is obviously the end game there. Fans
Yeah.
will get behind a face JC Jane at some point. They were cheering for her as a heel. It's gonna happen, and she'll do it well. I would love to see Tatum get it and get what JC got. That a chance really to just shine for a bit and be like,
I
hey,
love the idea that people are floating around there that Briggs and Jensen and Fallon are going to get back together as a heel group.
Yeah.
Because I think that would really work. Because where the fuck has Brooks Jensen been? Is he on Evolve?
That's a good question.
We've seen Briggs. Briggs is killing it. Briggs beat Cardona last week.
I know.
That was kind of surprising. Everybody's saying, oh, there goes Cardona. He's just going to go bury some NXT guy. And then he has a relatively decent match with Briggs, and Briggs goes over. And it's like, yeah, well, oh my God, I can't believe NXT beat a guy like, Cardona. They waited so long to bring him back to WWE, and they just buried him again. It's like, pick a narrative. Like,
yep.
I know you're on the side
with
where I know you're on the side with the Burger King crowns and all that shit, but like, please pick a narrative. It's
Makes
fine.
you wonder,
Don't worry
right?
about it.
Oh,
There's
God.
so many options in their women's division. It's fucking
so
unreal.
many, and that's really.
And do you find it
thing.
funny that like while there's been a lot of crossover, like we'll see people pop up in the Rumble from NXT, and we see a lot of people popping up on SmackDown and what's her name, Roxanne Perez, before they brought her up officially and threw her in the Judgment Day and all that sort of thing. She was just like guesting on Raw like a lot. The one person that they haven't really tested the waters with yet on either Raw or SmackDown is JC Jane, and she's the champion. So you think she'd be like next up in the batter's box type of idea.
Yeah.
So do you think they're holding her back on purpose for a proper call up, because she'd fit in with the rest of them up there?
Yeah, you'd think so.
JC Jane makes her debut on the main roster. Lights go out come the Wyatts. Stare down between JC Jane and Nikki Cross. Or out comes Nikki Cross's new best friend, Tatum Paxley.
Right.
Throw in Rosemary and Abaddon, and now it's an orgy. Anyways, what? But yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. I think Tatum Paxley is gonna have an awesome night to show up and show out. The fact that I want her to win aside, I think it's gonna be a really good match. I think you've got Zarya, who's been thrown in her match at the very last minute, who's got something to prove. Blake Monroe, who's still relatively new to NXT, with something to prove. JC Jane and Tatum Paxley, which is a new combination. Something I think you've really got a no pun intended. You've really got a horse race between those two ladies matches to see which one's going to steal the night.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, can't argue that.
Now, can we do some spooky dookie now?
Time for the ultimate spooky dookie.
How about a Day of the Dead match for the
Right.
NXT North American Championship? I can speak, I swear. Ethan Page versus the guy with my favorite name in wrestling, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., the AAA Latin American champion. Only the North American Championship on the line. I'm going to let you go first.
Dr. Wagner Jr., if he takes this belt, that could be something. Think about it. I'm not a fan of it, but with the story of Ethan Page, it's always interesting because seeing him lose always leads to something bigger and better. And
Facts.
I don't see him losing this time, obviously. It's only for the North American title, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's only for one, which is part of why I'm having the thoughts that I'm having.
Yeah.
Ethan Page losing and moving up would normally be something that I would be into, except for the fact that Ethan Page, Ricky Saints was the last feud that Ricky Saints had before he won the belt.
Yeah.
And I don't need to repeat that quickly.
No. Yeah.
And I would almost want, now that Trick Williams is having his one last shot, give Oba one more go before he goes up to the main roster as well. Put some distance between.
That could be great too.
Put some distance though between these guys that were fighting just to fight, and now like half a breath later, these guys are fighting again, but now there's a title in there.
Yeah.
A little bit more distance between those two, like round one, round twos, would do a lot better for me. Here's something I'm going to say, and this is funny when we talk about the Hardys in a second, because I'm going to be an incredible hypocrite.
That's okay. I'll let you.
I'm a little bit at my limit for like title versus title. I'm going to leave with 2 titles. I'm going to leave with all the titles stuff. And that's across every brand. And this is not me taking a sideways dig at AEW.
No.
TNA's done it. WWE has done it. NXT has done it a lot recently with the TNA crossover. AAA has teased the idea. I think it's a little bit lazy just to be like, you should care because this guy's a champion and this guy's a champion. Now, Wagner and Ethan, both great. Wagner versus Ethan, cool. There's a match I want to see. Maybe ease up on the like jewelry collecting matches. Which is why
you don't need 1,000 belts.
No, but this is why it makes sense that only one title is on the line, because if all the titles stay where they are, then it's fine. We can move on. Because El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., did he not just start or renew a feud in AAA with El Macias?
Yes.
Or El Macias or whatever?
Macias, Macias, whatever. One of them names.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Judas Macias, right?
Yes. So
simplest way to get to the finish line here is Ethan Page reaches out to his enemy's enemy, gets a hand because it's a no DQ match, and everybody's titles kind of stays where they are, but you need something to set up that Latin American Championship with Wagner and Macias at the next AAA show. Let it be because he fucked him here.
Yeah, why not? It makes perfect sense.
And before we get there, it's a no DQ match. There's going to be plunder. There's probably going to be jack-o'-lanterns and sugar skulls and such.
It's going to be refereed. So in a way.
If she
go
wasn't
all out with it.
If she wasn't still trapped over at Guantanamo Bay, wouldn't it be awesome if we had special guest referee Thunder Rosa?
Right. Could be a ton of fun, but
we can't have nice things. I did like the fact that when Ethan did his pre-tape promo and he turned his face and he had sort of like the half sugar skull, almost like a colored Darby Allin thing.
Yes.
I was like, if he comes out like that, I'll pop for that.
Yeah, that's fun.
I will. It'll be good. He'll do something because it's not a Halloween match. It's a Day of the Dead match. So obviously there's some
element to it, but
what do you want to say? Some cultural significance to that Ethan Page can absolutely come in there and take the piss out of. If it's a Day of the Dead match and El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. is doing the cultural route, it would be really, really funny if Ethan Page, the proud Canadian, came out in like Stars and Stripes gear.
Right. No, that could be great. No
Let him
doubt
do
about
like MJF, but better.
it. And you know it.
I'm better than you, and you know it, eh?
You know it. A boot.
Anyways, but yeah, I go with Ethan Page retaining, not necessarily because I'm sitting here saying hoorah Ethan Page, but I think there's an opportunity to tell a AAA story on the NXT card, and Ethan Page picking up a win, picking up a cross brand win at that.
Yeah.
It's not going to do it. It's not going to do anything bad to his character either.
No, it's not going to hurt him by any means. It should help in the long run.
And Dr. Wagner's title isn't on the line, so
yeah,
he doesn't lose anything. He's got an excuse for losing the match. He's got a feud going forward over on his brand, which is, I guess, technically what is are they the 5th brand now? Because there's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, and AAA. Is that how that's going?
Yeah, I believe.
All right, now I'm spoiled for choice which match I talk about next. But I'm going to go with this one. Very rarely in wrestling, very rarely in wrestling fandom can I genuinely say, good God, I'm happy I was wrong.
Yes.
We had a friendly bet.
We did. Oh.
Earlier this week.
Yes.
What was the friendly bet?
Remind me now, because I've got several days not of sleeping in my mind.
Fair. And you haven't been walking around very much.
Or running.
Here I am taking the piss out of my co-host, and he's an awesome guy. Everybody go subscribe to Jake right now. Pause what you're doing. Go subscribe to Jake. But we had a friendly bet that the reason for the absolute bullshit ending at Bound for Glory between Javon Evans and Leon Slater, which was bullshit, making zero excuses. That was absolute horseshit.
Yes.
Was because they were going to run it back at Halloween Havoc for the X Division title once again. I was so sure that they were going to do it, and I was okay. We're going to do this match once on TNA, once in NXT.
I don't know what made me buy into the fact that they weren't either as strongly as I did. I just knowing that they were going against Stacks, I felt like they were going to do something there where like, oh, we'll team up somehow, and then that, lo and behold, that's what we got with Mr. Iguana. He has an iguana
and La Parka.
Yes, but he's got an iguana.
Before we get into that,
no, not even into the match. I'm sorry. He's got an iguana. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, I'm good.
Before we get into the match, though, let's first of all say
yes,
these two, as like friends, partners, whatever the case may be, are a great team already. They need to pick up one of the company's tag titles because it'll be an entirely new bent on the entire working relationship thing. Second of all, Javon Evans playing hype man to Leon Slater on commentary, sitting in front of the table with the headset on,
was awesome.
The commercial break.
Yes, talking about aura, right? You know, that guy's got it.
The other end of that as well is sort of because they're a real life couple, obviously, but sort of out of nowhere, we have this Ariana Grace Stacks act.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, we're putting all the couples on TV now. We got Rollins and Becky. We've got not Cross. We got Black and Vega, and now we've got Stacks and Ariana, and they're a good act. They are a really good act. I really like them.
They work well together. They really do.
I was like, okay, we're gonna see Stacks, and it's gonna be like, oh, this is our last reminder of what the D'Angelo family was, right? But he's gone and Jey Uso'd himself a little bit here.
He did, just a little bit.
And he's never been terrible in the ring. I did like them in tag team matches because I thought Stacks coming off a great hot tag was one of the best hot tags that they had in NXT.
Yes.
But he held his own.
I was thinking, I forgot our little wager there. Yeah, because I was thinking back on more towards the women's side. I forgot we even brought that up because there's been just so much wrestling content. And so much that has happened, and I've still got a fish tank stuck in my head for whatever reason, and the waves and the splashing and the algae, it's just fucking up my brain. But regardless,
what I just thought of, though?
They're going to make you wait forever for this rematch?
Maybe. And you know what? If they do the rematch on TNA because it is technically for a TNA title, that won't be the worst thing in the world either. It'll,
No.
oh, you know what? Let these guys be a tag team for a while and like have them be a successful tag team on NXT and have them run back the one-on-one match in TNA. That's an okay divide of their time,
Yeah.
but also that's an awesome match for Genesis in January.
No argument there at all for them to have that, you know, because
But here's the
that's
thing.
exactly what they need.
If the okay, we're going to talk about the Hardys in a second, but if the Hardys weren't facing Dark State, can you imagine putting both titles on the line and having the NXT and TNA tag titles both held by a team of one guy from NXT and one guy from TNA?
Ooh.
You got to do a lot of fast talking to make that work.
Yeah, no kidding,
But I wouldn't mind it.
it could
But
work
Javon Evans and
quite
Leon
well.
Slater being like, look, and they were right before they actually, no, not right before, because right before they fought each other, they were on opposite sides of the Survivor Series style match. But like a week before that, didn't they tag team against Dark State? Like just
Right.
because they happened to be there and Dark State was causing shit. So the
Yes.
fact that they just they liked wrestling each other, they liked wrestling with each other, and they just kind of went out and did this open challenge thing. It could have been anybody. It could have been OTM. It could have been Hank and Tank. It could have been maybe somebody like from the main roster. Like if they had thrown out an open challenge on the night and it was answered by somebody like Fraxium
Yes.
or Motor City Machine Guns or the Rascals, could have been all kinds of fun. It could have been the most open thing. Like, look at how much crossover there is on this show.
Yeah.
But this is the most crossover match of the whole card. One from NXT, one from TNA, and two from AAA. Because Mr. Iguana and La Parca came out. I'm just like, fuck me. This is my pay-per-view.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And
it is. Look at who's fighting for the women's title. Zaria's got a match, and she's kind of a monster, sort of. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. has brought us the Day of the Dead match. Ricky Saints and Trick Williams is the one match that doesn't really fit the card. It's fine. We've already talked about it. It's fine. But this is this is Halloween. This is a trick. This should be a trick or street fight.
It should.
I want to see La Parca and Mr. Iguana come out with trick or treat bags. But like the bag is like an iguana with a pouch. Why am I not working for WWE merch? Like,
right.
I'll make you money. I've
got you guys covered. All you have to do is listen.
It's fine. Start selling, Penta masks because other people didn't think that was a good idea. Moving swiftly on.
I don't know how they haven't, to be completely honest with you.
Who are the... Oh, this is going to make me... Oh, I know who it is. It's your favorite guys. I was going to say who are the AAA tag champions. Do we see Psycho Clown and Pagano somehow get involved in this because they want to have a match with Mr. Iguana and La Parca at the next pay-per-view? Or Javon Evans and Leon Slater win and they get challenged by the AAA champion, because I'm sorry, Javon Evans, Leon Slater going up against Pagano and Psycho Clown for the AAA championships.
Yeah, that's everything. It really does.
Everything is. You know what I'm loving about this? And I'm tripping on my words, and it's a good pay-per-view when we're tripping over ourselves and tripping over our words. Everything is on the table.
Yes.
I was watching another stream. I think it was our friends over at Wrestling for Life, but I can't be completely sure. And they were having the age-old debate that basically WWE haters have of, is NXT developmental or is it the third brand? And I'm telling you, okay, yes, I'm speaking like a Toronto kid here for a second. It's not developmental or the third brand.
Yeah.
NXT is Union Station. You got, because if you see all the trains, okay, for people that don't live in Toronto or in the Toronto area, Union Station is the one station in Toronto where all the subways, all the GO trains, all the Via trains, all the Greyhound trains, everything goes through Union Station. NXT is Union Station because you've got the NXT line, you've got the Evolve line, you've got the AAA line, you've got the TNA line, you've got the NOAH line, you've got the main roster SmackDown and Raw line.
No, exactly. You're right.
NXT is where everything happens. I said this when the TNA thing started, because TNA versus WWE would have been David and Goliath, and it would have looked like David and Goliath. It made more sense to have TNA go up against NXT. But everybody goes through NXT now. Think about how many people in NXT have gone to Bloodsport.
No, you're not wrong. I mean,
like, that is NXT's new purpose. It's not developmental because Evolve's developmental.
yeah.
It's not like a filter system because, hate to say it, and I hate to agree with all the wrong people out there, but TNA is kind of acting like a filter system right now.
No, they really are.
It's not developmental because you've got people from the main roster coming down. You got people going up. Like Lyra Valkyria has shown up the past couple of weeks on NXT, and it no longer feels like an out of place thing.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Matt Cardona showed up last week on NXT, and granted, it was already pre-advertised and whatever, but it didn't feel like an out of place thing. It was kind of cool.
It worked for what it was. Yeah.
I would have liked for him to be involved in the NXT TNA showdown thing, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. But other than that, like, Mike Santana came to NXT to try and win back the TNA championship the first time, and it didn't feel out of place anymore.
No.
NXT is Union Station.
That's true. I do understand. Everything runs and flows through them at this point. So yeah, absolutely.
So anything can go anywhere. I am going to go with Javon and Leon winning because I don't think they throw this super team together to lose. And Mr. Iguana and La Parca's popularity isn't going to be affected by a loss.
No,
it's really not.
They'll keep escalating upwards, you know.
Maybe Leon Slater goes after Dominic Mysterio at some point.
You know,
that's something I'd like to have a look at that.
That wouldn't be terrible either.
But anyways, I'm going with Javon and Leon.
Yeah, I think it's kind of evidently obvious. I like the pairing. This is going to be that, hey, you just had fun match. Wasn't that fun? Like that's exactly what we need. And that's exactly what we want. So
even when they made the announcement, even when they made the challenge and then the guys came out to accept the challenge, you could see all four of them were creasing up. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. Yeah. Let's fucking go.
They knew at that point, like, hey, one of these is going to be enjoyable. So
I think there's going to be, like, because you know how Leon has like his entrance is like a UFO type thing.
Yes,
I think we could see an alien puppet.
You know, I don't doubt it. It could work.
I think we see an alien puppet, or oh my god, because there's so much representation of TNA on this show. Who's the director of authority for TNA?
Ah, yes, Mr. Santino.
So, Yayeska versus the Cobra.
Yeah.
In the crowd or something after the match.
They've kind of teased
times.
Little things with it, so it really could be hilariously fun.
Or like somehow they got into the equipment area at the back and somehow they've stolen Demonito. All kinds of fun.
They got the Demonito shirt now, so
nice. It's good. I still like the shirt that I saw. I think I might have sent it to you. Is it's from the movie Seven.
Yes.
And it's the two guys from the movie Seven and the box and the wife's head in the box, and all three of them are smiling.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Gwyneth Paltrow, but it's just Gwyneth Paltrow's head, but they're all smiling.
Well, like, in the box, they had a really hyper realistic model of her head, I guess. That was like the whole, like, you know, so when they had it on set, I guess it was jarring to create like that kind of visceral reaction. But then afterwards, they have that photo with it, and it's funny as all hell.
I mean, it's morbid as fuck, and I was like, oh, that's really fucked up, but it's also really funny.
Right up our alley.
And, I'm really, really sad and upset and forlorn that my buddy Guapo is not here for us this evening, because NXT Halloween Havoc is about to be broken. Yes.
Can't be more excited than that. Am I wrong?
As soon as they did I thought they were going to do a Hardy compound match. When they did the drone and they showed the Hardy compound, I'm like, okay, they're going to do like some weird, like,
that was my guess too.
Because immediately I'm thinking, like, okay, do they film part of it at the compound and then like both of them, like all four of them, get in their cars and everybody like runs to the desert to finish the match there? Because you could do something like that. It's that kind of show. Again, like it's Cocaine Bear. It's going to be more fun than good.
Yeah, we've seen it multiple times on NXT where they end up back at the arena.
But when they went into
Even
the
WWE, the House
lake,
of Horrors. I forgot about that.
when they went into the lake, and I'm just like, this show's for me, man. Like, it really is. It really is. I can't even. Jake, say something about this match, because I'm just going to keep saying that this show is for me.
They had everything here. They had the Hardy Kids. They had, you know, the
Rebby?
Gardener. Rebby was there. Everybody was back, and it was a really just like momentous feeling seeing it on NXT, not TNA. I know it hasn't the nostalgia and the glory of it has not outstayed or outlasted its welcome. Basically,
No.
seeing the Hardys week in and week out still be a part of NXT and be the champions, and knowing that they weren't just handed the belts. Like the Dudleys in that match, you go back, they gave us a hell of a spectacle, but Bubba took the work there. You could say, like, what did Devon do? Well, Devon did the one jump to his knees when he did the was up, and then Jeff put himself through the table and hit his head on the ladder. And
You've
Devon
seen the
took
shots,
none of it.
of like, no, yeah, he didn't put anything on him. And it's like, you know what? Because everybody was like, oh, if Devon couldn't make the match, it would be a really nice thing for like one of his sons to team up with Bubba. And like, yeah, that would have been. I've seen Devon's kids wrestle at Destiny.
Yes.
Check it out for Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine.
It
So that would have been a cool thing.
One
it's
more
not
table.
quite. I don't want to have like with these guys that I like. And, you know, everybody's shitting on the Hardys because, oh my God, they went back to WWE again. Oh, they've got the developmental belts. Isn't that cute? And everybody shits on Bubba because, like, he's got a radio show and he doesn't, like, suck Tony Khan's cock.
Exactly.
But, like, if you tell me that you've been watching wrestling for as long as we've been watching wrestling and that wasn't part of your childhood, you're just lying.
Yes, if you weren't a fan of the Hardys in some way, shape, or form, then you know you're full of shit. Especially if you watched during the Attitude Era, there's no way for you not to be. And that's what it comes down to. Don't lie, don't be dishonest. You know, make these things work. And that's what we should be seeing and should be getting. But
I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying it as a dig towards AEW. I'm really, really not this time because I've been snarky about it before. But if we lived in a different world as far as like wrestling politics and whatever, and you could have had Christian Cage and Adam Copeland there as well.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been cool.
It would have been great.
And if you could have had Madison Rayne going into the Hall of Fame with the other two beautiful people, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
But it's not the world we live in, unfortunately.
There's a third beautiful person? What are you talking about? I didn't even know there were Raw tag titles till Monday.
Oh my God. Hey, AJ Lee are the tag team champion.
I know. Talk about getting what you want. I didn't even know she was back.
Between them winning the tag titles and Ilya Dragunov popping up and winning the Sammy Open Challenge, like the titles are shifting pretty quick.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Zarya temporarily holding on to the Women's North American Champions. Obviously, we're going to have Punk and Jay fighting for the World Heavyweight title, which everybody's already pretending is the worst thing ever.
See, I'm not against Jay winning this time because there's a story element to it. There was a point in time where they were kind of just pushing Jay to the forefront of things, and they were like, hey, look, it's main event Jay, and he's in the main event because that's his name, main event Jay. And he didn't have the belt anymore. He lost it to Gunther, but everyone wanted to make him still this, you know.
And people still want. Okay, maybe I am going to go off on one tangent.
Well, the Yee is over, no doubt, but it's not the definitive thing about him right now either. The Roman Jimmy triple angle they have going on, the menage a trois of the mini bloodline feud, essentially, is entertaining as all hell because it's what we should have gotten pretty much from the get-go. Jimmy was the good, like Jimmy lined up, but he never felt like he was supposed to be the bad guy. It was supposed to be Jay. And then Jay fell in line because of his brother, and it was all for Roman. And so getting this.
Well, Jay should have toppled Roman instead of Cody, but that's not the world we live in.
No.
I will say, and it's getting tiring, and it's getting like the fatigue is real, right? People want the more CM Punk succeeds in WWE, the more CM Punk shows that he's having a good time in WWE, the more people want so bad for this guy to have some kind of scandal around him.
Yeah, something
And it's
miserable,
just
something
and it's
abysmal, some
just
problem.
and it's just people whose dad left for cigarettes when they were 5 and they've never had a friend in their life.
Or showed up at 10 and
The
whooped their ass. I mean, either or,
Oh,
whichever way you want to
exactly,
look at it.
exactly.
It was just
But the whole thing that, like, when they did the after they did the stuff in Australia and they did the mini tour through Japan, and it's CM Punk, Raquel Rodriguez, and Rhea Ripley got matching tattoos in Japan,
But
and they're just, like, on socials, like, showing their matching tattoos, and everybody underneath every post is like, "This man has a wife, by the way," and
yeah,
it's
did
like,
you see Punk's smile when he had AJ up on his shoulders?
"Oh my god,
AJ
yeah."
giving I sent that to people saying, like, he couldn't look any happier. Like, he
Oh, but
literally could
that was
not.
performative. That was
Yes, that was
performative,
just in the
apparently.
ring, you know? But the man could not have been any happier doing what he was doing at that point.
Mm.
Like, it was so refreshing to see him just enjoy what he's doing, and you could
But,
tell,
like,
like, it really
the
means something to him.
conspiracy
He's happy
the
to do it for
conspiracy
AJ.
wheels are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
She came back for one match, and she saw how irresponsible and how inappropriate he was being with all those other women, and she couldn't bring herself to come back, and it's like, she's gonna come back and take the title off Becky, and
Yeah,
you guys are fucking idiots.
you just
You
gotta
guys
make that
want you
narrative,
guys
right?
want this guy to have a scandal so fucking bad. Why don't you
So
worry about
badly.
the fact that Tony Khan and AEW are contract tampering?
Yeah,
Why
right?
don't you worry about that?
When they
Sit down,
do it,
shut the fuck up, and
it's
I
not an
don't
issue,
care that
though.
you've got David Otunga on your side. Fuck off. Let's get back to a good match. I didn't want to derail us that much. Broken Hardys, Dark State. Here's what I'm gonna say. We talked about it last week, but I want to bring it up again now because there's new context, right? Broken
Yes,
rules match. Basically, there's no rules. You
yes,
got a championship team of 2 versus a team that has 4 members on it. So
yeah,
clearly there's going to be backup, right?
yes.
They've gone to the extent of putting Leon Slater and Javon Evans in a different match. So they are elsewhere. They are
I was
elsewhere on this show,
Who else
right?
has been a thorn in the side of Dark State?
Nobody. But
Oh, there's
it
been
re
one pretty consistent.
who's that?
Say his name.
Oh, yes. But
He's
that's
gotten
okay.
involved in their business quite a few times now,
But
and
that don't but
has
that even that only brings it to 3 on 4.
no, I
I'm
know, but at
saying,
least we got some
yeah.
time. But I know he's injured, and him not being at Bound for Glory really sucked. So I don't
Mm.
know which way
I
they're
mean,
gonna if
it's the
they'll do
stupid thing.
anything
Like,
with
you're
him.
gonna get somebody on the mower of lawns, and you're gonna get King Maxwell, and
Yes,
maybe Rebby's gonna be there. Side note, I would really love Rebby to get out there on the piano and play the creepy delete entrance for them,
yeah, right.
like she's done at other shows. But it totally makes me double down.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It makes me double down on the rumors that we talked about last week of what's it called? Private Party
Yes.
making their debut.
Hmm.
And and the whole conversation then would be, well, it's kind of messy for them to show up on an NXT show in an NXT tag team title match, but like they're helping the Hardys who are technically in TNA.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? We've talked about Private Party and what they could possibly do in NXT, or maybe even like jumping right to Raw or SmackDown. Private Party in TNA wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
No, they probably TNA's tag division is doing stuff
Is
with the
kind
Hardys,
of desolate right now.
you know. So it'd be nice to have them at least defended more, because the Hardys having both belts. I think Dark State wins the tag titles back here. I think it was just a chance. They needed the match for what they were trying to do before. You know, the Invasion Showdown. All the titles
Mhm.
are on the line. So we're gonna have that. Meanwhile, you guys are gonna, win the titles, but then we're gonna give them back to you. And once we give them back, this is, I think it was just a make good for one final table for them to be able to be like, oh, the Dudleys could win both titles. They could be. I
I
think
think it
that
served
was
a
the
bunch of
purpose of
purposes,
it.
right?
Oh,
I think it served a bunch of
multiple, but
purposes
that was one that stands out. But yeah,
because
yeah,
the Hardys, like, it really was like they never put the titles on them in AEW because we have Young Bucks egos to fill. But like, if you look at all the titles that the Hardys have held, and even now they're holding the HOG and the Fourth Rope titles and the TNA titles and the NXT titles. The NXT titles were like one of the few titles within their grasp that they had never held.
yeah.
And it did help assuage some of the accusations of, oh, all the titles are going one way.
Mm-hmm. So
Especially if at Bound for Glory if they had done what I thought they were going to do, which was like, okay, give the TNA title back to Santana, but also give Javon Evans the X Division title.
Yeah, no kidding. Swap one for the other.
Yeah.
But I like how it worked out.
I think Private Party shows up. I don't know whether that means that they're NXT talent or whether this is their way of debuting in TNA, but I think one way or the other, especially because Private Party already has previous working relationship with the Hardys, and there's actually some story there. Was he Brother Zay?
Yes.
When he was with Matt, when he was with Big Money Matt.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because Matt Hardy did the broken thing in AEW and they only did it one time. Tony Khan was like, "No, that's way too cool for our show."
Yeah. He had him changing.
I'm an asshole. It's fine.
Friggin' ice container.
I think the Hardys retain. And I'm doubling down on what I said earlier. I think the Hardys defending the NXT titles against Leon Slater and Javon Evans is money.
Oh, absolutely. Big time, no doubt.
Because Dark State, I like Dark State, and as a unit, watching them like have their matches and whatever, it's fine. People are like, oh, it's Shield 2.0, or it's another group dressed in black.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Exactly.
Right?
Like it's just another militant occupied group. That's the whole point behind it. Speaking of that, where the fuck are my skull masks?
Oh my god. Better than what's called?
I need my Antifa kit to get here. Come on, damn it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I need some ice for my drink. Anyways, but no, what was I gonna say? It's better than the what are the BCC called now?
Death Riders.
Yeah. They're swimming with the fishes. Hey, maybe Tony D was writing for AEW all along.
Maybe he was here, still just going ahead and
last week's what did they do? Last week's Dynamite, where it was like, okay, we're gonna do a mock-up prison scene and we're gonna do a mock-up restaurant scene. And so Tony D is writing for AEW, and then at Wrestle Dream it ended in a fish tank.
Yeah.
And you know what the shitty? Okay, I said I wasn't gonna say it. Fuck it. Not only was it not the death match that was promised, it was like, oh my god, Sting is back. Okay, we got Santa Sting. That's weird. Yeah. And it ended up with a sharpshooter in a puddle. The fuck are we doing?
In a puddle. Like that was their big plan. Sharpshooter in a puddle. In a puddle. So,
and Darby Allin got his revenge well after Jon Moxley had no title to fight for anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm
gonna go with
Jim
Hardys.
Cornette. I agree. I'm gonna go opposite. I agree with you beforehand. I'm gonna go with Dark State, but one thing I do want to mention, Jim Cornette has just that vitriolic hate for AEW in the way that it's not them, it's what they do.
Good.
It's not like he's unbiased and just says everything sucks. So him giving credit to Hangman for something was really surprising, and I guess it's warranted, but Hangman went ahead and tweeted the network. He tweeted out TNT and TBS directly. And
because he was bitching about the ice commercials.
Yes,
fuck off.
But how much of a risk is that when they're under all this scrutiny right now? The company is at risk to be,
But it's not, though. Jake, sorry, I have to cut you off. It's not a risk at all, because he's chosen a horse to back where it's like if he gets any flack for it, the public will lynch whoever's giving him trouble.
Exactly. He put himself in such a way that, but behind the scenes might hurt them. With the TV re-signing. Oh, I don't know. There's executives that already don't want to deal with wrestling now. They're trying to put it off to the Jake, the other side.
You're right. You're right. Factually, you're right.
Yes,
but can I present to you a different angle? Jimmy Kimmel is a thing.
No, very true. Yeah, I get your point, but
yeah. If they dropped him, or if they dropped AEW for, Tony
I don't
Khan's
think it'll
already
be for
good
that reason, but right now with this merger not going as they planned, and with them basically having the issue of, hey, things aren't going, so we have to restructure everything, and they may not get a new TV
with him being
deal.
With him being that outspoken about all the social justice fucking nonsense, with friggin' what's his name, the Bandito's partner,
Brody King.
Yeah, who's awesome, by the way, but coming out with all the fucking bullshit t-shirts that he comes out with, even if it's not to do with any of that, if the channel tries to cancel them, they'll be like, oh, they're doing this because of political whatever, and they'll
Yes.
back down, just like Disney had to back down with Jimmy Kimmel because nobody's
But
got a fucking set on them anymore.
here's my thing. I don't think that the reason that they'll be canceled or not hired back to come again, it wouldn't be that directly, but I think that you wouldn't risk it. You wouldn't want to rock the boat right now to even knowing that you're at risk of possibly losing your friggin' TV
Because your
deal
network's
because
going
of
to
the
get bought by Netflix.
Yeah, basically. Would you not, hold off and be like, yeah, let's not piss off the network, even if you have these beliefs? Because
Okay,
the
but
network
everything
would never come out and be like, oh, we're gonna cancel you now because of this. But what they can do is, like I said, they keep mind of this, and now it's like, oh,
But Jake,
you
look around
fucked
in the
us.
real. Look around in the real. Okay, we've gone way off the track now.
Yeah,
Look around in the real world right now, even outside of wrestling.
yeah.
You're talking about, oh, watch what you do, watch what you say, watch how you act, watch your actions, etc., because they have consequences. People that victim card that hard, people that victim card as hard as AEW and AEW fans and Tony Khan, and to be AEW is to constantly be under attack. People that victim card that hard because they think it makes them invincible, and they don't think about their actions or their actions possibly having consequences, because their actions having consequences now becomes oppression, and it makes them bigger victims, and it gets them a bigger victim card. And I'm sorry, it's kind of like being at the library. It's kind of like being at Walmart when you've spent all your change, your victim card has been declined.
No, I mean, you're not wrong there. And it's just that, I don't know, it makes me, I get what you're saying. So you're not wrong in that regard. But I know that, yes, they feel like entitled victims, so they don't have a worry about these things.
They don't have a
I
worry.
just
But
know.
the other thing about it is now that they've draped themselves in that particular world issue, the network that wants to get rid of them will have to think twice about it
Oh,
because of the
yeah.
optics.
And you're right about
Which is
one thing
bullshit.
too, is my mind being set in a way that is from yesteryear. Because when you go back and you look at what they were doing and how they were doing it, I think back to when Vince McMahon almost murdered the Ultimate Warrior because the Ultimate Warrior was an asshole. We know this. And what did he do? He went ahead and he saw a kid at an airport and refused to sign an autograph, told the kid to go F himself and
Oh, and he wasn't being a good baby face.
right. But but the kid that he said no to was the child for the head of the network that they were on at that point in time. So Vince got a call from the head of the network the next day being like, you're fucked kind of thing. I can't believe you made my kid
Okay,
cry.
then that guy's a dick.
And Warrior had to then go ahead and record an apology. And if I saw the apology the other day posted on YouTube in full, like the behind the scenes parts of it, where he's like, why do I even have to do this stupid shit? It's fucking stupid, little kid. What's it matter? Like, he can't work in his head like, this is a work, I need to just apologize quick to save the company. Like he was, and that's what led to him being fired permanently eventually, was just that
But Jake, you have to remember that now
attitude.
we've gone so far the other way that I have personally
Yeah.
what is my favorite story in my entire time on YouTube as a content creator, where my video got flagged for racism because I said that Athena is better than Naomi.
True. I mean,
That's how far round the bend we've come.
I
And
do
that's
have
how
to
that's the kind of retarded logic that we have to deal with when you talk about, oh, how dare people enforce the law, derpa derpa derpa, it'll make me sound good. And oh, and by the way, we're in Arena Mexico, so derpa 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 derpa. Anyways, getting off of this, getting back onto something happy, I think the Hardys retain. It's going to be a weird match. We're going to get all the Hardy compound stuff that they can muster for an in arena match, unless they pre-tape something, in which case I'll laugh my ass off. Put Dark State. If they put, okay, we're back on track now. If they put Dark State in the Lake of Reincarnation and they come out in Shield gear, everything's worth it.
Could you imagine?
Everything's worth it.
Could you imagine? I think I would die. Honestly, like,
except they would have the riot shields like they were supposed to have in their first debut.
Yes, actually make them
See,
have the cool
fucking
gear.
getting back to it. This is why I love this show. This show allows us to have so much fucking fun. Anyways, I'm very, very, very drastically starting to lose my voice. This show is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. This show is Cocaine Bear. Jake, tell them where to find you.
I agree, my friend. And you can find me over on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Jake Countdown Ended, at Countdown Ended on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Rumble. You can find us on TikTok at Jake.CountdownEnded. We're on Spotify, hashtag into somewhere. And come hang out with us Halloween night. We're going to be doing a big Halloween party / bash review of SmackDown, all of the above. People can send in their costumes for a prize. We're going to have a little viewer costume contest if anybody wants to celebrate and go along. So it'll be a lot of fun. So please go ahead and check us out live next Friday for Halloween. If you're bored at any point in time, come hang out with us cool people and get spooky.
Let's all get together and eat our candy and get fat. And if you don't know where to find me, you do know where to find me. I just fucked it up already. You guys know where to find me, or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been the preview for Halloween Havoc 2025. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, me and Spooky Jake are out of here. Bye, guys.
In Toronto.
Yeah, we